guys, I was bored and upset because my Discord server made me mad. So blame them for this. Blame them for this video right here. Blame them for it for as long as time. Because it's just going to be a straight Angst series. No comfort at all. And I mean it. But I hope you guys enjoy. Love y'all. But most specifically, blame Roxy. Roxy, this is your fault. This is why everybody's getting this. Anyways, love you guys for real now.
The apartment was too quiet, save for the clock ticking in the kitchen. Atsumu sat on the couch, his leg bouncing nervously. He hadn't meant for it to spiral like this. He thought they'd talk it out like they always did, maybe argue a little, but not this. The front door slammed open, and Sakusa walked in, his dark eyes sharp and cold. He dropped his gym bag by the door without looking at Atsumu. "Where the fuck were you last night?" Sakusa's voice was ice, his words cutting through the silence. Atsumu straightened, already defensive. "I told ya, I went out with the team. It wasn't a big deal." "Not a big deal," Sakusa scoffed, his laugh humorless. He turned to face Atsumu, his lips curling in disgust. "You didn't answer your phone. Not once. For hours. What the hell am I supposed to think? I was busy. I wasn't ignorant yet on purpose." Atsumu shot back, standing now, his own anger rising to meet Sakusa's. "Busy getting drunk and being a fucking idiot, as usual." Sakusa snapped, his arms crossed, his posture rigid. "Do you even think about anyone but yourself? Or are you just too stupid to care?" Atsumu flinched at the insult, his hands balling into fists at his sides. "Don't talk to me like that. I ain't some kid you can boss around." "Then stop acting like one." Sakusa spat. "Do you even know how exhausting it is being with you? You're selfish, reckless, and you never think things through. I can't fucking do this anymore." "Atsumu." The words hit Atsumu like a punch to the gut. He stared at Sakusa, his mouth opening and closing as he struggled to find something, anything, to say. But Sakusa wasn't done. "You're a goddamn burden," Sakusa continued, his voice rising now, shaking with anger. "I'm tired of cleaning up after you, of always being the one who has to care enough for both of us. It's pathetic." Atsumu's eyes burned, his vision blurring. He wanted to yell back, to scream and fight and make Sakusa understand, but the words caught in his throat. All he could manage was a broken, "Why are ya saying this?" "Because it's the truth," Sakusa said coldly, "and you need to hear it. I can't keep pretending this is working when it's not. I don't even know why I'm still here." Atsumu took a step back, his hands trembling. "If ya hate me so much, why don't ya just leave, then?" he whispered, his voice cracking. Sakusa's silence was deafening. He stared at Atsumu for a long moment, his expression unreadable. Then he turned, grabbing his bag from the floor. "Maybe I will," Sakusa said, his voice flat now, all the anger drained out of him. "Goodbye, Atsumu." The door slammed shut behind him, and Atsumu sank back onto the couch, his chest heaving with silent sobs. The clock kept ticking, indifferent to the shattered pieces of what they'd once had. Atsumu stumbled up the steps to Osamu's house, his chest heaving with uneven breaths. He didn't even bother to wipe his tears, they streaked down his face, hot and unrelenting. His fingers fumbled with his phone as he tried to call Osamu for the 5th time, but his brother wasn't answering. The fight replayed in his head, Sakusa's venomous words cutting through him like knives. "You're a goddamn burden." His chest tightened, his heart aching with every beat. He had no idea how he'd ended up here, standing on Osamu's doorstep at 2 in the morning, reeking of whiskey and regret. Without thinking, he started pounding on the door. "Samu, open the fucking door." His voice cracked, loud and desperate. After a few moments, the door creaked open, and a groggy Osamu appeared, his hair a mess and his eyes squinting against the porch light. "What the?" "Atsumu." Atsumu staggered forward, almost falling into Osamu's arms. "Samu," he slurred, his voice choked with tears. He fucking hates me." Osamu immediately steadied him, gripping his shoulders. "Jesus, Atsumu, are ya drunk? What the hell happened?" Atsumu didn't answer. He just broke down, his knees buckling as he let out a gut-wrenching sob. "He said I'm a burden," he cried, his voice muffled against Osamu's shoulder as his twin caught him in a firm hold. He left. "He left me, Samu." Osamu's face softened, his annoyance melting into concern as he pulled Atsumu fully into his arms. "Aw, shit, Atsumu," he muttered, his voice low and comforting. "Come here, I got ya." He led Atsumu inside, shutting the door behind them as Atsumu clung to him, his sobs shaking his whole body. Osamu lowered them both to the couch, sitting down and pulling Atsumu into his lap like they were kids again. Atsumu buried his face in Osamu's chest, his tears soaking into his brother's shirt. I tried so hard, Samu," he hiccupped. I thought he loved me, but he said." His words dissolved into another round of sobs. "Shh," Osamu murmured, rubbing circles on Atsumu's back. Don't think about that right now, okay? You're here, I'm here, you're safe. But what if I am a burden? Atsumu whispered, his voice so small it made Osamu's heart ache. You're not, Osamu said firmly, pulling back just enough to look Atsumu in the eye. Don't ya ever think that. He was angry, and he said shit he didn't mean. That's on him, not you. Atsumu sniffled, his eyes red and swollen. He looked like he meant it, Samu, like he really fucking hated me. Osamu tightened his hold on his brother, pressing Atsumu's head back against his chest. Then he's an idiot, he said simply. If he can't see how much ya care, how hard ya try, that's his loss, not yours. For the first time that night, Atsumu felt a flicker of warmth in his chest, small but steady. He wasn't sure if Osamu was right, but for now, he let himself believe it. Osamu held him until his sobs faded into quiet sniffles, until the weight of exhaustion finally pulled Atsumu under. Even as Atsumu slept, Osamu didn't let go. He stayed there, cradling his brother, silently vowing to hold him together for as long as it took.
Feel my pecker tingling, balls are jingling too. Come on and tell me whether I can link them together with you. I need a hot slip mommy to slip my salami into.